Okay. And hello, everybody. We are live. We are here in the States as they're doing a moment of applause for Sir Roger Hunt. The cop has a beautiful mosaic. And as you can see on screen, we'd like to welcome friends of the channel, Liverpool Lee and Fahey on the bottom. He's a United fan. Somehow he infiltrated the channel, but we're going to be nice to him today. He is a staunch hater of both. They just panned to the screen with Hendo at the center circle. Lee, sorry, bear with us, everybody. We're watching in all different parts of the state of New Jersey, and so we just have to sync up as the kickoff is about to get underway. I'm going to throw up on screen some beautiful graphic. And they're taking the knee, so let me just start the kickoff as they rise again, and Hendo's going to get us underway for 1 versus 2 in the Premier League, at least headed into this weekend. Chelsea has retaken first place, but a game ahead, so this should be a beautiful clash here. And there you go, that's my spiel. Lee and Fahey, I'd like for you both to introduce yourselves and Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still mastering the syncing up.
Okay, Fahey, you go first then.
We're good?
Yeah, long-time United fan.
Okay.
Long-time rooting for the 0-0. An entertaining 0-0, you can have those, you know. Known Beats since college. Supported the blog even with his horrible takes. Here we go, you know.
And Lee,
ping pong going on.
Introduce yourself. Obviously, you've been a lifelong Liverpool fan.
Same, yep. Since I can remember, lifelong Liverpool fan.
Got family ties back to the homeland.
Yep, my dad's 2 older brothers were born in Liverpool. The rest is history. And excited to be back on BD's Beat.
Yeah, certainly.
First time video appearance, I think.
Ooh, some pressure on Ederson right there.
It's been really a ping pong. The ball's been in the air more than on the ground, it appears.
Yeah.
I hate to be that guy. Can I get a minute check with you people?
37.
38, 39, 40. Hendo with a cross in, and Laporte able to block the advances. Grealish doing some defensive
Diaz
work.
was the center back pairing, right?
Yeah, which is interesting because as of 10 days ago, and I'm not really sure why there's reporting as of 10 days ago, but they were saying that Diaz and Laporte weren't going to make this match, and then they were starting in the Champions League. It was like, wait a minute, what? I thought you told me they were going to be out for like 14 days. And then they made some sort of miraculous recovery. But anyway, for those of you watching on YouTube, I've got the starting 11s both up on screen. You've got I was going to say standard back 5. I'm so used to saying that for Liverpool, but it's not. We have an injury to Trent, of course, so it's Ali Milner, the former City player, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, midfield 3 of Hendo, Fabinho, and Curtis, who's been on a flyer recently. He's the young Scouser is playing great for us. High hopes for him. And you've got the normal front 3 for this season, at least, of Mo, Sadio, and Jota. I'm a bit surprised. I was even talking with Fahey a bit before this, and we were sort of expecting Klopp to go with Firmino just from the experience of this sort of, this big game environment.
So I should think about that. Was Jota injured? Like, was that during his injury when you guys met up last season then, I guess?
Yeah.
Or just that he wasn't really starting regularly?
I was actually thinking about that. Is this Jota's first game against City? Because I know he got injured against Atalanta in October of last year, and then that held him out for quite a few months, right, Lee?
Yeah, he was gone for a little bit.
Yep. He got injured in the Champions League.
Yeah. I'm just going to finish up the City lineup very quickly so I can put these graphics off the screen. You got Ederson, João Cancelo, Laporte, Diaz, Kyle Walker, midfield 3 of De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo, and a front 3, false 9, again for Pep, is Jack, Foden and Gabby Jesus. So the former Liverpool man Sterling gets a spot on the bench. His form really hasn't been happening for City yet this season. But it's interesting. I mean, is Pep losing faith in Sterling a bit? Might he move on? I think you started to see some actual maybe transfer rumors that Sterling might leave City coming up. I mean, he's obviously been there for 6-7 seasons, and he's been a great servant for the club. I'm just surprised though, because he can be, like player of the season quality. When he catches fire, he does bang in the goals. It's just he's a very streaky player. So when he goes cold, he goes really cold.
Yeah, because my old criticism, he shut me up over the last couple seasons where he lost confidence running to goal. But I feel like that went away. But honestly, I would say it dates back to even last season. I didn't think he was great in the Euros. I think he's just, I don't know, something's up.
Yeah, he is such a weird player. I mean, I've always said this that he's almost like the opposite of I would say most normal players and what you would expect from a striker. Like you give him time to and a through ball from Jota to Sadio centrally, moving from left to central, and just a little bit too much on it as Ederson comes out to collect. It's also so funny too, as I interrupt myself. Brazil, in my entire lifetime, has never had legitimate goalkeepers. Except for maybe Taffarel in the 98 World Cup. He was pretty good, but I don't think he ever did anything really at club level. Yeah, and now you have the two best goalkeepers in the world are Brazilian. Alisson and Ederson. So I feel like it does tend to happen. You've also got England right back situation. You rewind 6 years on a given position, and England has 0 right backs. That's the problem area. And then, there just happens to come up a generation of England right backs. You're going to have phenomenal, you're going to have really great right backs that are never going to sniff the England team.
Yeah.
Wan-Bissaka, I was a fan of him, but he's, I mean, unless, whatever. Not to get into an England debate, but Southgate, unless he's going to go super defensive or something, Wan-Bissaka.
He just doesn't bring in attacking quality.
Reece or Trent. Yeah. So this has been a quite for next. Yeah.
Just a quick second. Where we at? Where you
guys
at?
6:40, 41, 42. Milner taking the corner. About.
All right. I am also almost forgot to set my fantasy football lineup, so I am sidetracked out next. I'm playing my roommate, so gotta win the roommate game. What? Where's my team? Uh-oh, I froze. Oh, no, we're good. Pretty open game so far. No clear chances, but, they're moving the ball up and down.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was saying pre-match to this, I think in theory and also in real life that for the neutral, I do think that this is about as good of a game as you can get worldwide because not just because of the stature of these two teams, but they're both teams that play lovely football in pretty much any other fixture. Liverpool or City is expected to dominate possession, even home or away. And Liverpool versus City is maybe the only fixture that you could possibly come up with where Pep is going to concede, we're not going to have most of the ball. So I do think that these teams, of course, this is a huge rivalry at this point. But
especially with you're watching the fall of Spain, those games are losing their luster across the world.
Yeah. Well, I'm getting told that we're having some video problems on my end, on the broadcasting end. So let me try and troubleshoot that. Apologies.
No worries.
was just thinking, like you said, with Spain. Remember who's like the draw in Spain to watch? They always were the league of like superstars. Now it's
Yeah.
It's really, obviously Barca dug their own grave.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't see. I saw extended highlights of the Atletico Barca game, and they just don't have anyone. Like, I mean, obviously I'm biased. Like, Depay is not a Barca player. Like, regardless of his form for Lyon. Like, I saw him at a big club, and he's just not good enough.
Mm-mm.
And like I don't know.
That's true.
So, and then Luke De Jong, like, what is he doing on Barcelona's squad? Like.
Don't disrespect Braithwaite or whatever. How do you pronounce his name? Braithwaite?
Oh God, yeah, Braithwaite. So yeah, it's just like that quality, like especially from like of our generation, the greatest club team I've seen.
Oh, yeah.
Under like it's just
Legitimately-
the
for legitimately
default.
the past-
I mean, as a United fan, I watched the team dominate for my entire life, and now
Yeah.
just be mediocre. So yeah, it can happen, but it's interesting. Yeah, I guess honestly, Atletico's the best team in Spain. I mean, Madrid's having a
Gotta
decent season, but I didn't realize how hot Benz was. My buddy at work mentioned that he's been apparently
He's like tearing it up.
Yeah. I've always been big fan of that.
Mhm.
They're going. Liverpool's looking for like a lot of over the top. It seems trying to sneak in between the backs.
Yeah, Liverpool definitely putting some pressure on City.
I feel like the
real
right
critical
side is just
chances
going to lack
yet.
that. Yeah, it's going to just kind of lack that extra big. So you got Milner, Hendo. They're industrious. So it's going to be a lot on Mo on that right side to like do all the creative.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder if Liverpool will actually try to focus more so on the left side this game because you got Robbo. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, on City's side, you don't really know so much what to expect because with Trent,
Yeah, they
obviously.
moved. Yeah. Ooh, I can't tell who was on the far left. Is that Robbo? Maybe nice little dart. I thought they would take it early. I mean, obviously Miller could put a cross in, and he's been doing it for 4,000 years or whatever it's been. Yeah, wait, he has to be like 36, 7. Like, how old is this guy? Or is he just? He was actually one of the youngest ever Premier League players, right?
I think he got third.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. I think he's
He might
younger
still
than
hold
Rooney even?
He might still hold the record for the youngest goal scorer in Premier League history. I think it was 16 for Leeds. So yeah, I mean it is crazy, but it's not. A lot of times you get a lot of hyperbole from fans and media and whatever, but it is not exaggeration to say that he is one of the fittest players at Liverpool. It is nuts. Now he does have some injury issues, like he'll pull a groin and not be available or whatever. But I mean, you put him into really any game, and he's a terrier. He's gonna harry and chase down everybody, and so yeah, I mean he's definitely a great.
He's second. James Vaughan for Everton in 05 by looks like 6 days. That's it.
Oh wow!
No, like 100 days. A little under. 16,274. Rooney still has the best goal, so. Oof. Yeah. Cities, yeah. Liverpool's causing destruction. The city's not settled well.
All right, I'm still trying to sort out our video issue. Let's see.
Yeah, Liverpool's shape looks real good, I have to say. That defensive, they had the nice 2 banks, took the ball away, and they split. Yeah, it was when we were doing the lineup beats, it was interesting because, like, I forget which of the pods, it's like Jones looks really good, but you got to think like with Elliott doesn't get hurt, is Jones even stepping into the squad really, other than more bit part? So it's
Sure.
also like good to show you these
Yeah.
like young kids you guys have actually. One, Klopp is trusting them, and two, they're good enough to play. Like clearly, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked. I mean, I think we're just so conditioned to not have academy type players. You know, Lee and Maya's
Yeah, I don't
lifetime, it's
tend to
just
think.
been
Yeah,
like Gerrard, and then that's it. And now, you know, it's almost like we
because
don't want to get
wasn't
greedy.
even,
Like
right?
we've gotten Trent, and he's such a blessing, but it's like, you know, yeah. Harvey coming in, you know, I almost feel like you'd have to be delusional to be like, hey, yeah, he had a great season at Blackburn, and now he's ready to like step up to a title-winning team, and just it is unbelievable that he's won over Klopp's faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially like we were
yeah.
talking about in your recent post too about like the glamour. It's just like, well, if he thinks he has, I mean, that to me reminds me of like older United. Like, well, I know I have this kid in my back pocket that's going to start breaking through. So why am I going to spend 50 when I just grew Harvey Elliott in the system? Especially like Klopp's been there now. Like the academy is, you know, training towards the Klopp system.
Yeah.
So like that helps a lot, right, when you're like building into your squad. So what was this? Klopp's sixth season?
Sixth
two.
or seventh, I think.
Okay.
It's technically his 7th.
Oh,
because he took
this
over
is his
midway
sixth full.
15.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
6th full. Yeah.
Jeez, time freaking flies.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they said
Yeah.
like Pep's, and I was just like, holy shit, yeah, Pep has been there for the same thing. One extra year, right? He got there before, or maybe 2. Like especially when you go with the Pep cycle of like 3 years. You know, this is like a lifetime he's been at City.
City playing down the left side was Foden.
Ooh, was that Foden?
Bernardo.
Yeah, I didn't know originally all the hype, but Foden's pretty dang good.
Yeah.
He's...
Oh boy. I guess you're not really too worried about Gabby in the air as much as that's City and seem to be. They don't really have they don't have a number 9.
Yeah, I mean, where do you stand on that, Faye? I know Lee and I have talked about that.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like they haven't had one. Like you can't call Aguero a 9 either, in my opinion. He's a
Sure
poacher, but like, yeah, I still think he's more like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. I think in my opinion, just also me being a hater, like your squad is that deep, period. Like, yeah, I know parts matter, but.
Well, yeah, that's what Scotty said, because I do think it's actually kind of a big deal for me. I always like to look at teams, I'm like, who's the guy that's going to definitely get them goals? And even though like Guerrero wasn't like a classic number 9, like he was their guy.
Yeah.
And I just don't.
And I think we all kind of have similar opinions on Kane. Like I know he's obviously great, but like look at his form now. Like it's just I don't know. I've never and the same thing going back to I know like the Euros don't matter for your club necessarily, but I thought he was horrific. Like the fact that just force him into that lineup because he's Kane is just like ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I don't know. And then also like I guess it was Kane or bust. Like it was also just weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some other good strikers in the world, but I guess they only want like City quality or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, the running joke is Kane this poor to tank his value, like is he doing this on purpose? Blah blah blah. I don't think he is, but
yeah.
Well, he's always been.
And I think
it was just August that he wouldn't.
Yeah, he never scored. I don't think he's ever scored in August. Yeah.
Yeah.
Slow starter.
I mean, I didn't see today. I didn't see him, but I mean, Arsenal that first half absolutely destroyed them. Oh boy. Yeah, I guess in these moments, right? I guess now I'm seeing the bigger gap. Like again, I don't really. What is this front three? Foden, Gabby,
Grealish, and Gabby.
Oh, Grealish. Yeah, you don't think of any of them like in the air.
Yeah,
it's way offsides. I don't really think of any. I guess unless you're going to like Laporte.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they're just not a big team. Oh, I want to ask this too. Like, is this your preferred pairing? Like, I thought Gomez.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's injured or not. I thought Gomez has like taken over the center back spot, but I guess I'm wrong. It's still Matip.
It's so funny, like to ask that, like going into this or coming out of this offseason, because everyone's signing Konate. I mean, like that was the only summer signing for us that everybody was so excited about him. But yeah, I mean, I've always been a Gomez guy, and I'm not sure, Lee. I mean, you were Matip coming out of this summer.
Yes.
And you can't, like, there's no, if you're amongst Liverpool circles, like, there's no discussion. Like, Matip has been as good as he's ever been this season.
Yeah.
So there's, like, no discussion at this point. But it is funny because Konate, and here's Bernardo giving us fits and plays in Foden on the left side, and a big save by Alisson. Great save by
big hand, yeah.
the world number one. Let me see. Putting the Alisson graphic.
He's not all the way back, but my boy is back. No, I think I forget. I think it was. I forget. It was Guardian or something. But they were talking about there was time. You know, in older eras, there was times where like De Gea was the only one keeping the coach around. Like I think back to the Arsenal game where he saved like 19 shots or whatever.
Yeah.
And like obviously that has not been him since probably 2018
I was
or
just
whatever.
gonna say 2018. I remember him like, he
But-
single-handedly kept them like.
Yeah, and like
competitive.
when he went into that Euro or World Cup or whatever.
Yep,
what was
World
it?
Cup.
2018
World
would have been a World- Yeah, like his form just fell off a cliff.
That's when he had that. Who did he give up that goal against?
I forget where he just like went through his legs. Yeah.
Yeah.
But happy to see. I think obviously having Hendo there, Dean Henderson there is like a huge. And you saw with Luke Shaw. I think he's slowly just become such an incredible like player in the league just because Tellez someone's finally there.
It's a challenge, yeah.
Yeah. Like certain players, when you know you start, it's true. When you know you're a shoe-in, and it's like different. Like Mo, you never need to motivate, right? Mane doesn't ever seem to be needs the motivation. But even like the idea with Jota, like get Bobby back in form, you know, like make him understand that he needs to earn his place and stuff. So.
Yeah.
So we've got BG, who is all mutual friend of all of ours,
BG
in the comments, and he's saying, I'm assuming you're talking about the false nine City uses, and then he a striker bad. LOL. Obviously, that was a couple minutes back. So Brian is definitely Brian, who's a Chelsea fan, is thinking that City needs a number 9. And it's interesting, Lee. I don't know if you saw Klopp's like not pre-match, but whatever the yesterday press conference. I think it was. I didn't see it personally, but I saw like the headline at least that. Klopp was like thankful that they didn't sign a number 9, which I wasn't even surprised to hear him say that. Like I would just think, because then that's almost provides a talking point when and if they sign someone in January, because then they're going to refer back and be like, hey Klopp, are you really afraid of City now because like they've signed? But whatever, Klopp always gives the right answer. He'll say like, I was afraid of them back then, I'm afraid of them now. Like they have so many threats, you know, everybody knows this sort of thing. But yeah, I was just surprised that he kind of gave that admission that, you know, he was relieved to see that they didn't sign somebody.
I mean, a title-winning side. I know, obviously, asterisk last season with everything, but title-winning side adding a Kane, it's hard to be like, oh, that's going to be, it's better for the league. Like, you know, you're going to be worried about that period. So, you know, that's not an easy answer, but.
Fahey, I think you'd like this. When I was talking to Scott, we talked about the City striker number 9 situation. I said, I don't care that it's 2021. When I look at how I like a title-winning squad to look, I look at the Fergie model of how he built his teams. He always had at least one guy where it's like, that's the goal getter. Like, that's our striker.
Yeah. Oof.
And he stockpiled it, you know? That's why.
Yeah, that's like this whole, I mean, not striking, but like with Van de Beek, like not getting minutes and blah blah, and Ollie's just using his reference of like, I didn't get minutes. Like, you know, you got to understand the role. I'm bummed. I was actually extremely excited for that signing last season.
I just don't get how he doesn't
great
get
for
like
Ajax.
a game. Like he doesn't get a game. I don't get that.
It's the reliance on, and now it's shoehorning, because it's just a broken model at United right now.
Would you play him
could
if
get away with.
if he were to jump into the team, where would you play him?
You drop Pogba.
Yeah.
And stop using McFred, but it's clear like we're not good enough. They have to use that. Like when they're playing only one of them, it's just 5 and 5.
Yep.
And then the midfield just if Everton can run through your midfield and fucking young boys and like all these teams, like it's just unbelievable. And honestly, like I really like McTominay, and I really like when he was injured, I thought he'd bring a little bit more stability. I mean, it's a little bit better, but the team is just disjointed.
Yeah.
Not to tirade into my guy.
I was listening. So, Faye, you know the next question. The manager.
Ronaldo?
No, the manager.
I just don't know why they gave him the contract. I'm not Ollie out necessarily now. I also don't like to me again. It's about availability. If Poch gets fired, then you fire Ollie and you sign Poch.
Okay.
But other than that, I don't want Conte. It's like pragmatic, boring. Like he's obviously a good coach, but he also wants full control. Like it's never. I don't want him. And then who's the other bigger name that's out of work right now? I don't know. It's just one of those is there anyone better? And at least Ollie knows the club, and regardless of his results, he's normal. Like he's brought something back, right? Like, it's not like Jose did such a damaging. And just reintegrating pieces and into the backroom staff has been good. I'll still never people say it's harsh on Moyes, but Moyes' approach was to fire basically an entire title-winning management around him and bring in his own guys who were floundering as a mid-table club. So it's that doesn't work.
Jota just getting dragged to the ground by Ruben Diaz after that was a weird non-aerial battle. And Ruben Diaz picking up a yellow card about 50 yards from his goal.
Yeah, it's I guess it's not too harsh looking at it on this side.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah, you're just not letting him go.
That's
a rugby
going
tackle.
to the ground. He was lacking some balance, and he kind of knew that Jota was just going to dart forward, so he gives away the foul. No chance of it being a red or anything, and there was clearly a lot of people, getting back, and it was quite a distance from goal. So kind of smart, but who knows? Could be an issue. Oh, interesting. Bernardo Silva, the least favorite man in Anfield, always goes for a slide tackle. I think it was against Ramos. The ball was going out of play. And didn't really get anywhere close to the player, but it was sort of a weird decision. He thought it was going to be a ground duel, but the ball just went out of bounds, and then he popped up and kind of shoved Robbo as he was throwing the ball in. So I think that incited
So what's
the
his
Anfield
villainous
crowd.
Status here? I'm a little out of loop in that one.
Bernardo's infamous crime against Liverpool fans was he did not applaud in the what do you call it? The Guard of Honor when we won the league. And ever since, he was very publicly and he's also gotten into spats online, right?
I was going to say it's even more than that, because it's also, like you said, the spats online. That video from the City Bus when they won the title in 19, singing that anti-Liverpool song, all the players. Bernardo seemed to be the ringleader of that. So yeah. And also the fact that
nice.
He died.
Damn, the Manchester Liverpool rivalry is expanding.
Yeah.
Oh,
they want it bad. They really want it.
No, I know it's been a thing. It's not.
I'm saying
City Liverpool is a 3-year really. You know what I mean? It hasn't been
No, it's more than that. But I take it. It's not 10 years.
It's Klopp Pep. All right. I'll give you this. It's Klopp Pep. It wasn't anything before that. No offense. You guys weren't challenging when City first really blew up.
I was gonna say the only big
other
moment
than Slippy G.
City Liverpool was the Coutinho goal game and the run-in.
That was a beautiful goal.
Yeah.
He had a decent half volley I saw in the Barca game yesterday. Just dragged it wide. Yeah, I forgot. Poor guy. That's another guy. His career has been so I mean, you probably don't feel poor guy because he forced his way out of Liverpool, but
I think it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah.
I love it.
I was going to say, Liverpool fans can do nothing but smirk on that one.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
But I don't harbor ill will towards Coutinho. Lee does.
I do, absolutely. Yeah.
Lee roots against it, and it also doesn't. I think
I love
I
it.
can
I'm-
I can
I have the
appropriately
pettiness of Lee as
represent
well, so like I'm all for it.
Lee's
The snake that
opinion
is
is
Stephen
that he holds on to how Coutinho left Liverpool,
Yes.
faking a back injury, and
Yes.
then it does not help whatsoever that he went to Barcelona, who Lee already hated.
Yeah, it was a double whammy. And
Yeah.
wait, my favorite thing though, guys, is when it was the back injury, and then my favorite quote I think of any transfer ever is Phil. He feels a great sadness because he wasn't allowed to leave. That quote is like burned in my brain.
It's
I think
almost like it's kind of
like
admitting
agents
too
putting
much,
that
right?
with
Aren't
his
you
dad.
already? You're already going with the back injury, and then wait, he's feeling a great sadness as well.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it was like his dad said it or like his agent. It was like an official statement. Like
Yeah.
Phil feels a great sadness.
I'm like an American sports now, like this whole like I'm a big NBA fan, and it's like I feel like the drama is the closest maybe in those, like especially like with like those superstar type players.
Yeah.
And this whole Ben Simmons saga, like, I never felt mentally good was his newest quote, but he signed a max extension with the team. Like he never felt welcomed, but you just signed a $200 million deal, so you felt pretty damn welcome to put pen to paper. Like it's just this like disillusionment of certain like players. Only players that think they earn a transfer, where it's like you're not that good. Like, it's always cracked me up. Like,
Lee,
my thing
what
is,
are
too,
our
and that's like
thoughts
the
on-
Pogba thing. Like, who's gonna sign Pogba? Like, that's what he's either gonna. He looks like he's gonna walk for free. I can't imagine he resigns. And like when he wants out, like you haven't done anything. Like, it's no like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like these delusions.
So at that point, as you know, City, that was Diaz
Jeez.
passing it back to Ederson, and
That's
Ederson
like-
was
what do they call it,
almost pulled
gold?
a Dan Orlovsky. Isn't that the Lions quarterback that just backed right out of his own end zone? For
the safety.
Yeah.
He almost backed over his own goal line. But here comes City. Oh, and
Yeah,
Foden is
down.
through. And he goes down.
Oh.
I think Milner did sort of
Oh.
bundle him in the back. It didn't look too much like a foul, but he didn't get any of the ball. I think we can all say that.
Yeah,
And
that's
Foden
a
was
bit of
sort
a
of
no,
looking
but
for it.
the Foden second response is a whack. Like, let me dive again.
Oh, there's Grealish
Again,
again, and
stay
he takes
down,
an effort.
man.
I'm a little ahead of you guys, so
Shaq
waiting for
froze.
you guys to catch up with that. And on the replay, that's one of those. I'm gonna be honest. If that happens in the middle of the park, they call it. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's the one thing.
Yeah, he puts him off.
He's
puts him
outside of the
off.
box.
Yeah,
So
that's
I would
true.
give that outside of the box because you get him
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
That's a
That's
foul.
the tricky
I
stuff.
love commentators, especially. I love how everyone hates VAR and like modern refereeing. It's just like a collective.
Oh, Lee, did Pep... no, he's acting civil.
He's so far.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think. he
Lee,
wants
what
to
are your
come
thoughts on
What?
Liverpool's performance so far? Because I was very surprised the graphic just flashed up that City have 55% possession,
Really?
which really surprised
That's a
me.
little-
And
Yeah, I would
well,
second
this is
that.
probably out of date now, but it was 1 shot on goal to City and 0 for Liverpool. So Liverpool really with that first 5 minutes of a strong start, but I think a lot of Liverpool fans are probably thinking that we could do
Yeah.
and need to do a lot better.
Yeah, I was just gonna
Yeah.
say, first 5 minutes have been great, and everything since then I've got to be better.
Yeah.
You guys have definitely
we-
been starting games hot. I think I didn't see either of the Milan goals, but I was watching at work the Milan Liverpool game. That first 30 minutes was unbelievable. Like as a hater, I was like, how do you deny this team right now? That is some phenomenal play. They just could not find the net.
Yeah, we were feeling it that day. That was
Yeah, Trent looked,
And-
everyone on the pitch looked great.
yeah.
And that's where I was just like getting back to like what I was talking to you a little bit earlier about Beats is like the defense hasn't found that imperious form they had in the title winning season right now, but they're still so good that like you're in every game, like even letting in the 2 goals or whatever.
Oh, when City put in a ball to the back post as De Bruyne arrives with a diving header and just gets 2 under.
I'm
it.
surprised
Never-
you know. I'm surprised you didn't just smash that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think maybe he thought the ball was coming quicker because ordinarily, I mean, any player in the world that you want to just volley that side-footed in, maybe
saw Mane. Was that Mane there? Maybe just thought he was closer and had to react.
I was just going to say, I'm sure he has scored him, but I don't think I've ever seen a De Bruyne header.
I just can't believe Nathan Ake is a City player.
Yeah.
Just to flash to him, and he was one of those, like, the one time I tried to play Ultimate Team in FIFA because I don't actually like that. That was like my big get in like the pack. I was like, oh, thanks, like Nathan fucking Ake. When he was at Bournemouth, right? Bournemouth was where he came from.
Yeah.
Sweet, can't wait to build my team center off of this. Like,
yeah, Nathan Ake.
And El Henny too. That was like the two guys they gave me. El Nenny. I was like, Jesus Christ.
I think Nathan Ake is a fine player. He's just like I mean, it's really hard to say.
I don't actually think he's bad. How is he on?
I think he's a fine player, but he just shouldn't have taken that move.
Yeah.
It's hard to say. I mean, you want a player to back himself and all of that, but it's just like he had to know he wasn't going to start there, and then now you're in no man's land, and I don't know. Because I do think he would probably start at maybe 14 Premier League clubs and be good.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Really interesting this season to see, although who knows, maybe it's just a shuffling of the deck that you always get some exciting teams in the middle to upper end of the table, but Crystal Palace and West Ham have had really strong starts. I think Leicester has dropped out of that pack. And again, the caveat to all this is we're only 6 games in. But I do think Leicester is going to drop off because some people kind of seem surprised. It's the Rodgers effect. Rodgers has been there 3-4 seasons, and his magic is running out.
Well, it also is like a good point I heard earlier this season, or a couple games ago. It's like they had that run last back half of the year where Iheanacho was like one of the most informed strikers in the league, and then they went back to just Vardy up front, and whatever, Vardy's good, but like that 2 system was working, and then I know they started today and he scored, so I was like, I don't know why you reverted your tactics. Like maybe it's just Rodgers more comfortable in the system with just a Vardy up front, like his the rest of his team, but it seemed a little weird. Because Iheanacho went on some run last year. I think it was 8-11 or something. Like he was really caught form.
And he wasn't even playing like a VAR. He was like their Totti. He was like a playmaking striker for them too. It was sick. I didn't even know he had that in his games.
Yeah. He's hurt, right, Thiago?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thiago and Harvey. And Trent.
How long is
Anyone
Thiago
else?
out for? Ooh.
Foden's been looking dangerous.
Oh, cheeky.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has.
It's all been down this left side for City, which is Milner's
that's what
right-hand side.
Yeah. I mean, that's, I guess, what I would attack. Like, you're not that, again, not that Milner's trash or anything, but he's not your standard right back for the team.
He's also not the paciest.
Yeah,
right.
True. Yeah, you have Foden's pretty quick.
Yeah.
And they'll move Gabby over there if they have to. Yeah.
My previous comments are coming back to bite me. I said that this is the only fixture where City wouldn't dominate possession, and now City are sure dominating possession.
Yeah.
First half.
They've weathered that storm. They look very comfortable right now.
Milner with a nice.
Not that Liverpool looks like they're rocking, or like they're truly struggling, but City just have that balance right now.
It's like watching. I'm going to say a terrible, cliche sports broadcaster pun, but it really is it's watching heavyweights box. They're just jabbing.
Yeah, slower. Yeah. Waiting for the big swing.
Yep.
So you're really sorry. Why is Milner starting? Because TEA is hurt, right? Yep, that was a comment from BG. You are correct, sir. I was just going to issue another apology to those trying to watch us on YouTube. We got some major video issues. I'm going to try and take a look at it over halftime. But for now, you just got the audio. And later on, we'll update. I have the recording saved to my computer, so hopefully that will be seamless. You'll just have to wait till that video podcast gets released, per se. But yeah, our audio, I'm being told, is completely fine. And really excited I want to put a positive spin on this. Really fun to be joined by these two good friends, and we always chat. We have a very active text group where we tend to disagree quite often, so we knew it was going to be an entertaining.
I feel like, I think it's funny. I was thinking about that recently. I was like, yeah, we really calmed down. I was like, we gotta get spicy again. Yeah. There hasn't been a week of no talking.
Yeah.
It's like we actually like each other. This isn't fun.
Becky, what is your opinion on the Grealish signing for City, just overall?
I guess. I just feel like they have 1,000 Grealishes.
So
That's
you're
all
not really fazed by it, and well,
no.
All right. So if that's your reaction, then what? How do you take them spending $100 million on him? Would you say that
unbelievable? The English fucking price bump. Declan Rice is $100 million. No, these players aren't £100 million. It's just not real. Maybe again, don't like him that much. I've never been the biggest Kane fan. Maybe it's hard to deny him if on true merit if other players of
he's got the numbers.
striking quality, but not Grealish. I don't really think anyone's worth $100 million. Period. But that's my stance. Oh boy.
Yeah.
I think it's in Matip. There we go. See that on No Context Matip later today.
Oh yeah.
He's furious with Gabi Jesus going to ground too early. Fahey, I don't know if you're fully up
Italian.
on Matip's
What was that,
reactions.
Yeah.
He has a conniption every single game. He's so awkward, and I'll freely admit when we signed Matip, it didn't move the needle for me because it was a free transfer from Schalke. Yeah, I'd heard about him before, but he was kind of one of those players that didn't really, he wasn't a huge player, and I was terrified of him when I first saw him in Liverpool colors because he looks like Bambi on ice. He's so awkward, so gangly, but sometimes players just transcend their awkward appearance. Fabinho's another one too. I thought he was really awkward looking, but the two of them, you're going to say I'm Liverpool biased, but the two of them have at times capability of being the best
Foden has
blank
Milner's
in
number.
the world.
Yeah, he's abusing.
I don't know if I'll give Matip best in the world, but I'll give you Fabinho.
For the most part, no, but Matip can be. He is in that imperial form, and
he has.
They're the two pillars at the back of the Liverpool defense. So I would agree with you. Yeah, normally I don't say so, but my solid.
He is though. He's single-handedly. He's the most entertaining player we have in terms of just watching him react to things, like the referees, players.
Yeah, I can't wait for the triumphant return on my end of Phil Jones' face.
Yes,
he's getting some minutes in the reserve. So that's why I don't really care that we lose the EFL, but honestly, it was more for squad balance where you can play Van de Beek and these guys because the squad is too big. It's just bloated.
Yeah.
It was more for that reason than anything. But yeah, you always got to have that memeable.
Oh yeah. That's for us.
You need it.
Joel.
That's awesome.
And Virgil loves him.
Oh,
absolutely loves him.
That's all that matters, honestly. Even if they're you could say, let's just say Konate's better, but if the relationship is Matip Van Dijk, because Van Dijk's never not going to be in your team, you go with relationship. I think that's an unwritten. All right, I don't know if it's discussed enough. I think we've gotten a little bit more individualistic. On players, but center back pairings. It's just that's your essential backbone. Don't forget, because people keep talking about spines, and it's one defender, one center mid. I'm well, yeah, I know what you mean, but I think if you can get a pairing that lasts you 5 years or something, it's just you're gonna challenge.
Yeah.
Is Joe on the bench, Scott?
He is, yes. And in fact, it's funny you say that because I have the bench up on the screen right now. Oh! And Allison saves our blushes again. Foden was through again on the left-hand side.
Our part.
Yep. Let's give Joe some time in the second half, eh?
Yeah, as a right back, you're saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll come back to that in 1 second.
I'm telling you, Milner's a red card waiting to happen right now.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I would say he's
So,
probably
yes.
no, I don't know about that, but like he's definitely the weakest. Like I don't know, they're just going through Foden and he's burning him.
That's what I'm
like,
saying. That's what I'm
every
saying. He
time,
already has a yellow.
Even this,
Just
just sneaking in, pulling Mostip out.
So BG saying you got no other options, meaning at right back because Milner's getting worn down. LOL. Foden is just getting started. Yeah, I mean Foden's been super dangerous. I think fans have a propensity to like really hone in on one particular thing and sort of really focus on that. Yes, and all right, maybe I'm being negligent, but I wouldn't say like, oh, Milner, like he's everything that's wrong with this performance. I think overall we've been flat as well, and he's being targeted. So yeah, maybe you could put Gomez in there. I don't know if that's my answer because the last time we've seen Gomez, period, has been a while, but the last time we've seen him at right back, I remember saying, like, that's not it. Like, you can't, he's not a right back. He truly is a center back. Okay, maybe we need some options. Am I saying put Nico Williams in? No. I mean, for this game particularly, no. If this were against Brighton, maybe yes. But yeah, Lee, what would you do? And Fahey as well, but I'm mainly saying Lee as a Liverpool fan. What would you do to shake things up in terms of, really what Liverpool need to change in order to get back into this game?
I don't know. It's difficult. Yeah, again, we're.
Or is it just a team talk?
I think it's just a team talk, but again, the beauty of why Liverpool's great and why they're a great team is that's that starting 11. And anytime one of them's out, especially the midfield and back five, kind of alters things. I don't know.
Yeah, I'd say that's the one thing I do believe Liverpool will be challenging this season. It does sometimes feel like this squad, like after last year, is just an injury away. Like if Mo goes down, do you really think you're challenging? No. Maybe your attacking three is you can get Jota and Firmino and everyone blah blah, but
no.
I mean, and that's any good team, right? If you take your talisman, obviously you're gonna go down. I'm not denying that, but I'd say maybe that's the one holdback. Is just, and I don't think you should think about if they get hurt. You should go into projecting this team will make it through.